All right, now recognize Representative Nathaniel Moran, gentleman from Texas. Mr. Moran is a former county judge, but, okay, this was written for Chairman Arrington. He too is a Texas Tech Red Raider. I don't know that I can say that.
You could have started with that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you to the Budget Committee for holding this important Member Day hearing, and thanks to all my Republican colleagues for their great ideas and for the Budget Committee's hardline stance in making sure that we remain fiscally responsible. Thank you to Chairman Arrington for his leadership. You're going to be deeply missed. When I first came to Congress, I recognized a hard truth. Our runaway spending stands among the greatest threats to the economic freedom of the American people. The debt then was about $33 trillion. Now it's far higher. Our nation now carries a bloated national debt of $38 trillion and growing, a burden that grows much larger every day, and we know is going to impact our kids and our grandkids. A soaring national debt weakens the American economy and jeopardizes the security of this nation. It fuels inflation, pushes interest rates higher, and places a real and increasing growing burden on hardworking Americans now and in the future. I know each one of you that are sitting here today know that. Our country's prosperity relies heavily on our ability to grow and innovate. But those strengths can only be unlocked when our fiscal house is firmly in order. And the blame cannot be laid, by the way, at the feet of any one party. All points along this political spectrum and both major parties bear responsibility for where we stand today. We both have spent way beyond our means. As a result of the fiscal crisis we have allowed to take shape, I introduced the principles-based balanced budget amendment during the 118th Congress, and I've reintroduced it again during the 119th Congress as House Joint Resolution 110. This proposed constitutional amendment, which is written in a way that is meant to be comprehensible, practicable, possible, and meaningful, will allow Congress to affirm the principles of maintaining a balanced budget without overriding any of its policymaking power year to year. The text of this amendment and the core principle reads simply as follows. Expenditures and receipts shall be balanced, which may occur over more than 1 year. Now that seems common sense to most Americans. Families balance their budget. Businesses balance their budget. Cities and counties balance their budget. How come the federal government can't balance their budget? My constitutional amendment proposal also gives Congress the practical time that it needs from passage to get to an initial balanced budget. It recognizes that we've dug ourselves a pretty good hole. It's going to take time to get out of it. It also allows for emergency spending with 2/3 approval from both chambers, and I think that's important to recognize the need for future Congresses to have some flexibility when there is indeed an emergency. The full text of this PBBA is only 2 paragraphs long, so as to allow flexibility for each Congress to decide how to balance the budget, whether it's structural or biennial, and to give Congress discretion to change the design of the implementing legislation while staying true to the end result of a balanced budget. This BBA would serve as a foundation for Congress to implement detailed legislation that meets the moment as those moments and circumstances change over time. For the better part of 2 decades, Washington has amassed a bill that future generations cannot afford to pay. And the result is unmistakable. Families and businesses are being squeezed by crippling inflation and interest rates that continue to climb, and our debt now has become a greater burden on our current annual appropriations, current annual expenditures than even our Defense Department. And the result is, it is important to note that the importance of this committee and its role in providing Congress with information regarding federal spending, revenue, deficits, and debt, which should shape how Congress appropriates its money. Thank you for doing that so eloquently over the past couple of years. We have to recommit the basic shared truth by every household and every business across this nation that lasting prosperity requires living within our means. That starts with a balanced budget and restored fiscal responsibility. It's not too late to restore that fiscal sanity, as the chairman has said many times. Yet the seriousness of this self-inflicted wound calls for bold, principled action, and that's what my principles-based balanced budget amendment meets in this moment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Appreciate you being here. And I think a balanced budget amendment would be one of the most important things we could do, or some sort of fiscal debt break, whatever it may be. whatever we could agree upon. But, we talked earlier today, someone who was here talked about Iowa's budgeting, and I'm from Pennsylvania. Going through the process there, it was a tough process at times. It was delayed. But at the end of the day, there was a requirement, I don't know how many states have a balanced budget amendment, but many of them do. And there's a requirement that expected expenditures or expenditures will match expected revenues. It would be one of the most important changes. And the way you've designed it to achieve that over a period of time, because we know it can't be done all at once, but like if we just take incremental steps in the right direction, understand it's going to take a while to solve it, but if we take steps in the right direction, we can get there. It'll buy time. People will continue to have faith in U.S. treasuries, but we've got to do it now, and I think this will be an amazing change. So thank you so much. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, leave it to a Texan to take a very complicated and complex problem and to simplify it with, how about we just force Congress to do what everybody else in the world at every level of public and private office and standing has to do? Live within their means, balance a budget. Guns up. Thank you for your leadership, Mr. Moran.
Thank you.